know that one day God will rule and reign on this earth? The Bible says in Revelation that there will be a new Jerusalem, and there will be a city and a temple, and God will dwell therein. So join me as we look at the prophetic chapter of Psalm chapter 87 today. Welcome back to Wisdom from the Word. We are in Psalm a Day series, and we are in Psalm chapter 87. Today, would you join me as I read? The Bible says, "His foundation is in the holy mountains. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of God, Selah. I will make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me. Behold, Philistia and Tyre with Ethiopia, this man was born there. And of Zion it shall be said, this and that man was born in her. And the highest himself shall establish her. The Lord shall count when he writeth up the people, that this man was born there, Selah. As well the singers as the players on instruments shall be there. All my springs are in thee." And so as we look, excuse me, at Psalm chapter 87, we see the final kingdom. We see that Psalm chapter 87 is a prophetic psalm, and it has been a minute since we have looked at a prophetic psalm. It has been a little bit. I don't remember which one was the last prophetic psalm, but it has been a little while ago. And so this is a prophetic chapter, and it speaks about the final kingdom being established. And so we see in verse 3, it says, "Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of God, Selah." We understand that in the final times that the new Jerusalem descends upon this earth, and we understand all of that stuff in Revelation is not poetic, it is literal. And one day I will make a video, and I will do a study for everyone on the new heaven and the new earth. And there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of assumptions about what heaven will be like and what the new heaven and the new earth will be like. And there is quite a bit of study that I've put into it. And so I hope one day to make a video on it, and it'll clear up a lot of assumptions and divisions in people's minds about what heaven and earth really are going to be like. And so we see the city of God. In verse 4, we see that it talks about Rahab. In verse 2, it says the dwellings of Jacob. And so in this chapter here, Jacob is Israel, Zion is referred to as Jerusalem, and Rahab here is many times interpreted to be Egypt. And so we see that you have the enemies of Israel. You see the Babylonians and the Philistines. You see Egypt. And we see that in verse 4, it lists them. But it says in verse 5, "And the highest himself shall establish her." And so we see Israel's enemies, but we see that God establishes this kingdom. And so this is a pretty short psalm. So what do we do? What is our application? What do we get out of this? So Jerusalem was not established as the capital of Israel. It is now, but it was not established until God made it the capital of Israel. And we also know that God established Israel. Jerusalem and Israel were small. They were weak. They were like a very, very small nation in a very, very small land. And so God took the things that were small and weak, and he made them strong, and they made them great. They were made great with God's power. And we see in verse 6, "The Lord shall count when he writeth up the people, that this man was born there." And so many people, just like we would say, you know, I'm from Ohio or I'm from here, everyone in this end of the chapter, these people are proud to be born in Jerusalem, in Israel. And so we understand that it's called the New Jerusalem. And so the main point is that you can be small and weak, and we are sinners. We understand that, but we understand that with God, all things are possible. He can do great things through you. And so I know this psalm was a little bit different. It's a little bit hard to understand because it is a prophetic psalm. But I hope this was helpful for you. And remember that when you call upon the Lord, He will answer. And so go about your day. Pray, seek the Lord, seek to be more like Christ every single day. It's little by little. How do we become more like Christ? You do it day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. But it's day by day. And so thank you for joining me in our Psalm a Day series. We will be back for Psalm chapter 89.